You know that Sue Storm wrecks Wonder Woman, right? Oh, you don't believe me? She destroyed the freaking Celestial, people! You know that I'm not potent, time, space, transcendent, cosmic awareness, immortal, that somehow the Marvel Universe forgot? That has the power to destroy the freaking Earth that we stand on if they choose. And she soloed one. And you think Wonder Woman is gonna do what against her? Grab her with her lasso of truth? Get out of here! I tell you this with complete confidence that Wonder Woman will not be able to even touch Sue Storm, let alone beat her. Oh, what, you don't believe me? Alright, it looks like it's time for me to pull the Professor X and sit you down for a little lesson. Here's an apple, class is in session. Let's start with lesson number 1. Nothing gets through the bubble! It don't matter what it is, this freaking sea monster came and tried to get her and smacked his face against that crap. He was like, hey, yo, what is this? Look how small she is compared to that thing. She look like freaking Thumbelina or something. Namor hit that joint who's a 100-tonner and nothing. And my brother, put some draws on, man. We got Hercules, the Prince of Power himself, ain't pushing through jack. Sit down. Oh no, it's Anubis, the god of death. Barking at nothing. She's still in the bubble, fam. The Savage Hulk couldn't even hit through it. Wait, what do you say? It's an old comic? World War Hulk was hitting that crap, and that brother was beyond strong. He was mad the entire comic series. Every single person he ran into was catching a 1-2 in the dry biscuit special. He didn't care who you were. We got She-Hulk over here who split vision like a freaking toaster strudel, gave it a try, and literally did nothing. She was just looking at her because nothing gets through the bubble. Bring your fire, bring your critical mass explosions that can create and affect hundreds of miles. Bring your monsters, bring your armies, bring your ocean, even the ocean's army that she kept at bay for days in her force field. Bring it all because nothing's getting through that crap. Not the lightning strike of Ragnarok, not the adamantium claws of freaking Wolverine, not the might of the mighty Mjolnir, not the freaking blast rivaling a nuclear bomb or being submerged in freaking lava. No gigantic asteroid moving the speed of sound that can turn the entire city into ash. All of that. It's not getting through her force field. And you want me to believe that Wonder Woman can break her force field? When Sue Storm held the Hulk and the Thing at the same freaking time? With her putting a force field between a enraged Namor and Black Bolt, and the force field is fine? Or laughing off Iron Fist cheap punch? That same punch that has the strength of destroying the entire helicarrier in one punch. One Punch Man. Who? Sue Storm laughed it off, people. She even placed Gladiator in the bubble. Yeah, the one that just stood there when Juggernaut tried to hit him and threw him across the freaking city. This brother Gladiator had picked up the entire Baxter building. Look at that. He has destroyed planets with his bare hands. We get impressed when people snap wooden karate clap. He's tearing the whole planet apart. This is the dude who's casually flying through stars like it's just a Tuesday. The fact that he's fighting inside this bubble is insane. Oh, and I can feel it. I can feel the audacity of some of you saying, but I remember when her force field broke. It's not unbreakable. When she was holding off a freaking incursion by herself and 3 Celestials was doing a Kamea wave to shatter her force field? She held off a Celestial by herself and the other 2 had a joy. And it didn't even kill her. Anybody else would have literally been barbecue toothpaste. I'm getting crazy out here. And while Wonder Woman is trying to survive getting hit by arrows, we're talking about Sue Storm barriers breaking when she was shielding the entire freaking planet from the Sentry. The dude who threw hands with Blue Marvel. The dude that fought World War Hulk to a standstill. The one that flew through a Celestial's head. The man that has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, which I have no clue what that means. Like, you hear it, but what does that actually imply? Well, whatever it means, all of that power was repeatedly hitting her force field. What was she supposed to do? Hold it up forever? She can't concentrate her field in that one area that she's hitting. She's covering the whole planet. Won't someone else do something? She's protecting the whole freaking world. Sentry's going nuts. You know what makes all this even crazier? Is that most people just think that her force field is to stop blunt forces. Like, the only thing it's used for is to stop physical physical damage. Wrong! Did you know that telekinesis doesn't work in a bubble? Bye-bye, Jean Grey. Did you know that telepaths can't enter people's minds when inside of the bubble? Sorry, Professor X. When the mind-erasing slave-making mountain from the Lava Disney movie was mind-controlling the world, Sue was protected because of her force field, and even was able to reverse the effect back on the freaking mountain by the use of her force field. Blackheart magic can't go through the bubble. And that brother was intense in Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh, but you want to hear something really crazy? Yeah, you want to hear something crazy, right? The cosmic cube that draws its powers from the freaking Beyonders and gives whoever's yielding it control over space, energy, matter, and time itself, a literal reality warper. And guess what? When this brother used it to change the entire world into some old school detective world, except Reed Richards, because he was put in the force field before it happened. The reality warping cosmic cube could not enter into Sue Storm's force field. Some of the mutants could have used that when Wanda was wilding out and said no more mutant. It's impossible, I know. How can the cosmic cube get through it? And believe me, I know about impossible because Impossible Man tried to go through the bubble and he couldn't do it. And that's his whole thing. He does the impossible. And by the way, have you seen what this brother can do? It's absolutely ridiculous. So now that we established that there is no freaking way that Wonder Woman is able to break through Sue Storm's force field. There's no way. Have you ever thought what happens when Sue Storm decides to go on the offensive? Oh, don't worry, that's why I'm here. I'm gonna tell you. Wonder Woman dies in literally 10 seconds. If that. Oh my goodness, you still have doubts? No problem, class is still in session. Lesson number 2. Title: When Sue decides to hand out the 1-2 and the dry biscuit special. Wonder Woman is dumb, strong, and fast. There's no doubt about that. But she has one weakness that I really never understood. She's not invulnerable. This woman can get got with a regular bullet or a freaking arrow. She can fight near the sun and take hits from Superman, but she gotta watch out for thumbtacks. And that weakness alone gives her zero chance of surviving Sue Storm, who can send thousands of bladed force fields at you that can cut through steel like freaking butter. And she's not even trying here. Her arms are folded. You see this humongous submarine here? She freaking sliced it into pieces like a sushi roll. Oh, what? You thought she was just going around shooting little circles at people? Nah, fam. She's shooting torpedoes, swords, shrapnel that's freaking shredded dudes, battering rams that's breaking down steel doors, spiked maces, swords that are cutting through dragons like freaking lightsabers, chains, bulldozers, clams strong enough to hold a thing. And she don't need to do no Naruto hand signs to get these moves off. She does these moves instantly. Look at this giant fist. Actually, she can extend her arms and legs by making them freaking reach like Dalsim from Street Fighter. And this shows that she can make it strong enough to hurt someone like Namor, who's a 100-tonner. Don't sleep on him. This brother brought down Hulk before. She created multiple hands with claws at the end and freaking was all up in Dr. Doom's sides and eyes and crap. This is like some Mortal Kombat crap up in this joint. Or if she just wants to get you up off her, she can turn into a freaking porcupine and project huge spikes around her body. Look at that! Knowing Wonder Woman's Play-Doh skin, that's going right through her. Speaking of Wonder Woman, the Invisible Jet who? Sue Storm is the Jet. You know what? I'm done with you guys. She turned into a freaking Kraken. She turned into a freaking Kraken. Look at this. This woman's crazy. She's basically a human Green Lantern ring at this point. How else can you explain her turning into a freaking giant robot and one-shotted thing in Mr. Fantastic? And peep this. She was holding back. But what if she didn't? What would happen if Sue Storm did not hold back? Which brings me to my final lesson. Inside Out. If Sue Storm wanted to, she would put a force field over Wonder Woman's head like she did to Hulk, Red Hulk, Super Skrull, the Human Torch, and many others, and simply suffocate her. If she's feeling a little fancy, pinkies up, she could create a force field mass in her throat and suffocate her that way. Like she did to She-Hulk and this dude right here. But if she wants to slowly cook her, she would simply drop a force field mass in her lungs like she did to Wolverine. This brother couldn't breathe. A little hard to watch, right? Don't worry, Sue Storm can make your optic nerves invisible so you can't freaking see jack. So you can't see, you can't breathe, she can soundproof the bubble, so now you can't hear, and the fact that you can't hear may be a good thing, so you don't hear your bones being literally crushed as she throws you into a force field and constricts it. And with her force field being strong enough to pass through the antimatter null force field, which I have no clue what that means, but that's hecka powerful. Or withstand the power of the one above all angels, or stop the combined might of Thor, Vision, and Black Panther, their force, without batting an eye. I just wanted to bring that up so you know that Wonder Woman isn't getting out the bubble. And there's no reason to hide it anymore. Sue can just simply expand the force field in her freaking head and blow it out like she did to Deadpool. Snap, crackle, pop. I mean, why not? She freaking threatened Dr. Doom by saying that she would strategically place force fields in his brain to make him a drooling vegetable. Or made this poor guy look through his chest and told him that she's gonna put a force field in his heart, in his coronary artery. Just give him a heart attack. Or inhale a micro force field and just say, hey, you know, at any time I can expand that micro force field that you just swallowed into the size of the Yankee Stadium. I mean, we definitely seen her do crap like that. We seen her place force fields in Doom's armor and expand it. Place force fields inside weapons and expand them. Put force fields in people's brain and expand them. You could try to run, but hiding from her doesn't work because she can phase her force fields through walls and grab you. But hiding behind somebody who can see through walls is crazy anyway. And I know somebody was thinking about this, and I have to put this to rest. Someone out there is saying, what if Wonder Woman speed blitzes her? She's not going to be able to react to the speed of Wonder Woman. Sue Storm does not need to react because her force field blocked a freaking bullet at point blank range when she was sleeping. That's because she already stated that the force field activate automatically. Her force field is her true ride or die, but it will never let her die. So Wonder Woman ain't touching her no matter how fast she moves. What Sue would do in this fight is literally attack Wonder Woman while she's in her bubble. With Sue Storm, it's not offense or defense. She's doing both at the same time. Protected in the bubble, attack enemy ships. Protected by the bubble, force fields around your head. Protected by the bubble, have it freaking rain glass on your back and shred you into freaking 1,000 pieces. And what a lot of people don't even realize, what makes this really scary, is that you can't see any of this. They have to color it in a way and demonstrate it in a way in the comic for us to understand what's happening. It's like airbenders in Avatar. They can't really see what they're doing, but they show it to us so we can have some type of reference of what the freak is going on. If Sue Storm chooses to, everything that she does can be completely unseen to the human eye. Wonder Woman blocks bullets, right? How do you block something that you can't see? And she can make it to where you can't hear it either. Hammers coming down and smashing you like a freaking Mario game, you can't see it. A huge blade going through Galactus' shell chest, he didn't see it. A giant gorilla that's floating in midair. The gorilla's confused. He's like, why am I flying? He can't see the force field. Random holes appearing on the ceiling and floor of the Baxter building. Nobody can see what she just did. Just the effects of it. So nobody should be surprised when she went to Dr. Doom's own hood and handed him the dry biscuit special and shredded his brother like he was old mail. Or single-handedly took on the entire Avengers team, flinging Thor and his hammer away like he's a little child, wrapping Iron Man up in a freaking rock force field, and making everyone look like literal amateurs. And this is still her going easy. She could have easily just put a force field in everyone's throat or lungs and called it a day. But instead, she placed them all in timeout like little children. She put Hulk in a freaking timeout box. She's treating the most powerful heroes on Earth like children. Now we can all see why Maria Hill went after her and said, hey, Sue Storm, you're an extinction level superhero. Sue Storm, you can end all life on Earth if you wanted to. Can Wonder Woman do that? And you know why Maria Hill said this? It's because Sue Storm blocked out the sun from the Earth while she was in space. It was a section of the Earth, but Maria Hill's like, you can block the entire sun if you wanted to. That makes you a freaking problem. Sue Storm defense, offense, fighting IQ, and power scale is just way too much for Wonder Woman. So when it comes down to Sue Storm versus Wonder Woman, unfortunately, Wonder Woman is outclassed. If you didn't know, now you know.